Hello, vicarious mercenaries, proxy ninjas, and pop culture PhDs. Welcome to the Rec Room on a Friday, an unscheduled and irregular time edition. Happy Friday to you. Hope all is well, and hopefully you got something fun or chill or productive, whatever, headed your way. So, I guess for the most part, usually a work day, like on a Friday, is supposed to be more chill, but somehow the CEO around here didn't get the message because it has absolutely been a full tilt day around here. So, I'll get to that more in a second, but if you are new to the Rec Room, this is your virtual hangout for creative project updates, pop culture commentary, and deep dives into franchises that inspire any of the above. And I can't really say it's a Metal Friday, that doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but because it's an unscheduled day, we are going to, yet again, be working on some Metal Slug Attack Reloaded because the grind never ends. So, um, yeah, I guess there's one more a pressing thing that's more necessary than numbers, but at the same time, I may as well say it while I'm thinking about it. So, thank you for the new follow on Twitch. So, I'll probably have more to say about that on Monday. I'll probably do a little infographic to show some of the metrics on the milestone that we just hit. So, thank you. All follows and subscribes are greatly appreciated. It helps us see track, kind of progress we're making because it has been a long uphill climb since we started this almost 2 years ago. Not quite there, the 2 year mark yet, but we're getting there. And also thanks to our recent red pillars and reposters over on Pilled. So thanks to Sheriff Hector and Mr. McBeat over there. Greatly appreciate the help and the support there. But yeah, the pressing issue is, man, it has been an absolute catastrophe from a bandwidth side the last couple of days. We had the same issue happen 2 of our last 3 nights, both for our Warriors stream and our Turtles stream. Turtles is definitely not a high performance game, so it's definitely not the console. But what's happened is the something in the bandwidth or one of the platforms has taken an absolute dump, and it has made an entire mess of all the replay files. So I've lost a lot of time both yesterday and today trying to get those uploaded because I don't have the time to stitch them all together. It is just not a good usage of time because it will take hours to get the audio and video synced up and then hours to get the things exported. Then, of course, then I'll have an oversized file and have to upload them. So, unfortunately, our replays from Warriors and Turtles are in chunks now, but I did get them finally uploaded. They are on YouTube now. They are on Odysee. So if you do feel like catching up and if you need to know what the reason was, that is why. It's kind of wild, especially since YouTube has usually been our fail-safe. That if Odysee has a problem, if Twitch has a problem, even if YouTube has been low res, usually there's a singular file. But especially like on Wednesday for Warriors, they had 3 minutes, and then so because that didn't work very well, I didn't even bother posting to YouTube last night. So we've had this just crazy, not effective use of files going on. So I'm hoping, I've tried to do the same things to fix the problem in the past, and there's typically nothing on the network on my side, so I don't know if there's been a service provider platform, like I said. So we're hoping to use this as a test tonight to see if things are kind of working order again, because we'll run weeks at a time with absolutely no issue whatsoever. So unfortunately, that's consumed a lot of time, but it has been a productive day. It has just been kind of nonstop with having that thrown in the mix. So I can say writing, check, that got done today. So it has been a good week. I think I got somewhere between 14 to 16 pages done this week. So that is a good week on progress for book 2 in the Firewall Protocol saga. And yes, I still have not yet mentioned the name of that yet. Part of me wants to try to make a name that's got 2 words to match the syntax of books 1 and 3, but that hasn't happened yet. So I do have a name that has been called for a long time, but I don't know. Maybe I'll save that for some particular fancy marketing promo ordeal. But that's not really the plan. It's just easier to refer to as book 2 for the time being. So the other thing, normally I've been talking about audio updates every day. Well, I did not get my audio re-recording done today because of all the other shenanigans. But the good thing is some other necessary things did get done. So there is our first show coming up March 1st. Well, it is not going to be anything grand and elaborate. It is a craft show of all things for starters, because apparently that's something that works for some self-published authors at a local level. So we're going to start there. And I'll start talking more about the details on that, once February hits. Because it's local, I know it's not any big event that people would necessarily be able to swing by and say hi unless any of our followers in the area. But it's a small step forward. So one of the things I got done was getting our first round of inventory for books ordered today, and then more I'll have to do for that between now and March 1st is get both samples and prints ordered. But at least today I got some samples lined up because I'd like to see how the shirts look before ordering them in bulk. And then also, since I've been tinkering with the art print thing, I'm going to try to get a good sample for testing different paperweights and glossiness. So I've unfortunately had to rely upon like local, commercial level. Well, actually, that might not even be the right term. Let's just talk more like a retail printer outlet, which people go to when they need a scan or a printer or something. And I tried that a couple times. Quality was not that great, so I don't want to say commercial and diminish the craft of those who are actual professional printers in the area, because I have not done that yet because I don't know about cost. But I found this one online, which the print cost is absolutely affordable, and so I was able to get a handful of different styles for a very reasonable price. So really, it's just the shipping. So I'm hoping that will lead to a good result, and then maybe have some resources there to work with as I expand the print offering that I'm hoping to have as a add-on to not just books and shirts when we get around a few more shows, if that works out. So that's cool. That's exciting to have some forward progress because I've been wanting to do prints and shows and things for about 5 years now, but because I was just getting my feet wet. My artwork thankfully has improved in 5 years, but also things went into lockdown in 2020, and even still trying to get into cons then was a nuisance. So it wasn't really a priority. Now that there is a complete book, that it has now been bumped up the priority level. So prints are also something that will just be a supplemental kind of thing to what's going on here. So I think that's pretty much it on my end. Pop culture wise, I mean, the thing that dominated the brainwaves last night was the announcement of Ninja Gaiden 4 and also the shadow drop, the stealth release of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. So that has increased the urgency of trying to get a proper console to make that a viable thing that we could do here on the Rec Room. So I'm working on a couple things, nothing set in stone yet, but there have been some moving pieces. But the reason why it's kind of relevant just to talk about the shadow drop part of it tonight is interesting because the game that we're working on, Metal Slug Attack Reloaded, has or it did the exact same thing last June. So I've seen some remarks that people are like, "Hey, can we normalize this?" So I guess I'm honestly not sure how I feel about that. So I remember the days when games got maybe announced a few months out, maybe a year. That gave you enough time to really get anticipated for it. And most of the time, some of the developers would actually stick the landing rather than delays. And when you had that happen, you had a fixed release date. And I enjoyed the days when we had midnight releases or the game came out on the particular day, so that, and sometimes if it was midday, it depended on when the retailers got it from their shipment. And like you try to figure out, hey, do I stop by on a lunch break? Do I stop by after work? When do I get my hands on this cool game and take it home and play it? Things are different now. It's like when the game comes out, it's digital only, and you got all your day one patches on top of the download. It's like you're not playing your game for a few days. In some cases, there is still some physical retail releases, but again, even if they are a thing, they are delayed behind the digital, likely to include, the most stable patches and any, potential features that are needed. So I can understand some of the reason for the delay, but I guess I question which is better? Which is a better approach? Do you want more time to get excited for a game, or would you rather just like have the developer drop the ball on you and here you go? Now, in the case where we've had it happen recently, the games have been actual remakes. So Metal Slug Attack Reloaded is a remake from a mobile game. So if you're the company, you can kind of understand it's like, yeah, well, we shuttered the first game and we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about the remake because we just want to have it as a marketing gimmick. Maybe that's the mentality. Because Ninja Gaiden Black is this Ninja Gaiden 2 Black to be more specific, of course, just had the same thing happen. It is a remake game, but I'm kind of curious how they kept that a secret for the number of years they're working on that, because it's a full rebuild. There is no way that just happened in a short period of time. I mean, I guess it could if you threw enough manpower at it, but when you're talking about redoing textures and rebuilding stuff on a new engine, because I know for fact the Ninja Gaiden and DOA games for the most part have been working on an internal and proprietary engine, not a industry-wide standard in the form of Unreal Engine, so that could not have been a short process. I mean, you could have had it take even longer if you only had a few people doing the asset conversion. So I don't know. A part of me is curious, just like what goes on inside of the heads of these people who are working on these, and I'm curious to see more player reaction. Like, hey, do you really like it more when they surprise you out of the blue and say, hey, the game is out and it's now available? Or do you prefer a little bit of time to say, hey, I want to get excited about it, make sure I know when it's coming out? Because, I mean, I think we're also seeing the opposite end of the spectrum. We're like, hey, we got a game we're working on, but you're not going to see it for another 5 years. So that almost like kills anticipation altogether. So if you want to sound off, share your feedback. If you have any thoughts on that, that's as closest I got today, because yeah, I'm working on the things for Ninja Gaiden, but at the same time, it kind of overlaps with some things we had going on here with Metal Slug. So today was such a busy day that I don't even know where we left off last week. I know we're part way through level 49, and I am at a loss. I couldn't remember. Did we finish both chapter 10s on another story mode on hard difficulty? I'll go take a look. But yeah, because I didn't check the replay file. But we're going to pick up progress. I think at this point, by getting the hard difficulty for story mode out of the way, the next priority things are probably maybe working on the special missions, maybe trying to get World Elite mode knocked out some more if I can make any progress on 15, 16 there. And then otherwise, we're back to the usual grind. Maybe get level 49/50 taken care of, and medals. So, and I'm sure we'll get some ultimate missions in, because it seems to be that the Ptolemaic army is the only one really giving us an issue at the normal difficulty repetitively. So who knows? We might have to tinker with that some more, just because that's always something for a bit of variety. But beyond that, you know the drill if you've been watching any of this. It's just tower defense at the repetitive level, and take it or leave it. It's what you get. So far, all things are green. And I did note, I said last night that I had no other devices on the network, but then it hit me. There is one other device on the network. It's technically this console. Now, I checked to see if there had been any updates, because that would be just a nuisance if the system is trying to auto-download the next system update or some game patch, but I didn't see anything in there, so I don't think the PS4 is the cause either, and I'm out of things to do, so... But we made it 15 minutes so far. Hopefully that's a good indicator. So let's check another story real quick to see if I finished Independent here. I did not, so apparently this is our priority list for tonight. So Independent is not finished, and Regular Army is finished. So we only got through one of them last time. And let's see where we left off on World Elite mode here. Are we on Alaska? Did we finish Germany? Germany's finished, so we could go back and get a couple of these here. Get those difficulty, those rankings from B to S. Looks like Alaska, we're just getting started, and I did not attempt that yet, so... I think the first order of business is going to be the usual warm-up here in Germany 15.3 normal, because this is one of our easiest things to provoke the boss, the rare boss that comes out after a random number of tries. Essentially, if you poke it in the eye with a stick, it says, "We must fight." Well, I mean, it doesn't, but, that's how my abstract brain works when I'm trying to explain things. Trying to make it interesting, even though it may not be super accurate. Because we still have so many medals that we need in order to unlock the surplus of characters and get them leveled up.
Thank you.
Getting those HP modifiers is a good thing, because eventually, if we find certain characters that are really strong or valuable, throwing a bunch of HP and attack modifiers would help with some of these more difficult things, like the ultimate mission and so on. So a lot of these missions, once you're overpowered, you can complete them maybe in 45 seconds to a minute, but right now this has been the shortest one, hence why. Just throw a few attempts at it, see if you can get 9 to 10 out real quick. Antagonize the boss. But if not, we'll move on. We'll not spend too much time on this. Plus, the other advantage is this one's high enough up the chain that at least we're getting decent XP, unlike some of the other attempts that we have to go back to get the items, where it throws like 300 XP at us and still hoses us on the random number generation. Oh, I missed that. There we go.
Complete. Thank you.
25 seconds on the nose on turbo mode. Alright, last try.
Mission start. Okay. Mission complete.
All right.
Thank you.
That's good. 1 POW, 1 HP. Nope. Okay. Well, we'll go find something else to do for a bit. Okay. So what do we want to do? Let's try... Why is this red? We should have that finished. Yeah, it is. Okay. Alright, so Germany's done. Let's try Alaska here.